Lando Norris leads the first session for McLaren, which saw stable weather, clouds only on the horizon, and a lot of people, really, a lot going off the track. Antonelli, Russell, Hamilton, Tsunoda, and even Max Verstappen ended the session stuck in the gravel. The gravel, in this case, is real, on a circuit built right on top of the dunes. In the second part, once again Lando Norris set the pace, again with Oscar Piastri in second and another Aston Martin in third place. In the morning it was Stroll. In the afternoon session it was Fernando Alonso. Friday, the 29th of August, 2025, we've already had cars on track, and we've already had cars in the wall. Lance Stroll had a heavy crash at the start of the second part. So before you head to the pub, before you kick off the weekend, you know the drill. Sit down and let's talk about everything. The day started with the threat of rain. The forecast yesterday said we'd have rain on Friday and Saturday, but not on Sunday. The good thing is it's called a weather forecast, not a certainty. And another thing you could notice was the half-empty grandstands. Zandvoort has been struggling to sell all the tickets this year, with Verstappen mania apparently dying down a bit. He's out of the championship fight this year. In fact, if you go on the website now, there are still tickets available for the Grand Prix on Sunday. On Friday, the grandstands didn't fill up because the circuit struggled this year to attract Formula 2, Formula 3, and more support events. But we will have the F1 Academy race there. And back from the holidays, McLaren returned to the top with Lando Norris in first, Oscar Piastri in second, and an Aston Martin that had done well in Hungary with Lance Stroll in third place. And right at the start, it was 𝙘𝙤𝙤𝙑𝙑𝙑𝙑𝙑𝙑 that led the pack onto the track. Most of the drivers headed out early on Pirelli's medium tyres. Pirelli, which this weekend celebrates 500 Grands Prix as Formula One's tyre supplier. They started back in 2010, didn't they? And the first scare of Friday came from Lewis Hamilton, who spun 360 degrees, didn't hit anything or anyone, but did ruin a set of medium tyres with what's called a flat spot. When you skid over the same locked section, the tyre gets flat on that spot, and from then on there's no fixing it. It becomes unusable because that's when you'll start to get vibrations. Remember the Russian Grand Prix in 2015, I think? When Rosberg and Hamilton both went for the first braking zone way past the point of no return, Rosberg locked up massively and had to come into the pits to change tyres because he couldn't see properly anymore. The car was shaking so much from the flat spot on the tyre. Hamilton was the first to go off, but soon after Tsunoda also went off the track before Antonelli got his car properly stuck at turn 9 and announced, "I'm stuck." The guys on the radio replied, "Yeah, we noticed that." Red flag then, while the marshals used the little tractor to remove the young Italian's Mercedes. With 40 minutes left in the session, remember, in free practice the clock doesn't stop. Verstappen was leading when it resumed, but Norris took the top spot. A 1 minute and 2.78 seconds, followed by Oscar Piastri 4/10 behind. As the session went on, the natural switch to soft tyres took place and qualifying simulation laps started to appear, with Alonso sticking his Aston Martin into third place, followed by Alexander Albon and George Russell. Russell, who made headlines today, we posted it on Instagram, said that Mercedes will have the best engine in 2026, but his concern is with the customer teams, especially McLaren, and also Williams. Norris would finish the session in first with a 1 minute and 10.278 seconds. Piastri was second. Lance Stroll took third, pushing Alonso down to fourth. Alexander Albon was fifth. Max Verstappen was sixth. But with the session over, Verstappen, while simulating a start as they do at the end after the clock hit 0, went straight on at turn 1 and got stuck. 7th then went to George Russell, 8th to Carlos Sainz, 9th to Gabriel Bortoleto, and 10th to Pierre Gasly with Alpine. 12th was Lawson, 13th Rager, 14th Nico Hülkenberg with the other Sauber. 14th and 15th were the Ferrari pair, Leclerc and Hamilton, both in the same 10th, but both 1.6 seconds behind the front. 16th was Tsunoda, 17th Esteban Ocon, 18th Franco Colapinto. 19th went to Oliver Bearman and 20th to the one who ran the least, Antonelli, who got stuck right at the start. Just to give you an idea, several drivers did 30 laps and Antonelli managed only 6. Important announcements. We're making progress with our crowdfunding campaign for the Splash and Go t-shirts. There's the highlighter style, there's the classic blue version from the channel, made by an official Formula One supplier, and it's an all-or-nothing campaign. If we don't reach the 500 available, it's already at 34%. By next Sunday's live after the Monza Grand Prix, that's it. The money gets refunded and no one gets a t-shirt, not even me. And the last batch we did in 2022 was a success. I don't know when we'll do it again, so make sure you get yours. The money will be used to build the new set and studio for Splash and Go. This is already the 4th season here, and now we're moving on to a new phase. It's easy to get yours. There's a QR code on the screen and a link in the description as well. They're available in all sizes, priced at 𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤, with shipping included anywhere in the country. If you're from outside Brazil, and I know there are people from abroad who buy our t-shirts, our book, and so on, you can still join the campaign, but you'll need to arrange a Brazilian address for us to ship to. Then, you and your friend, partner, or family member can sort out getting it to you. Besides that, another thing, on Sunday during the live stream, we have giveaways and prizes from 𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤, our partner who sends us these kits every month. I built this Lego F40, which will also be raffled off. We have a Racing Bulls, a McLaren, a Haas, the F40, and 3 Lego minifigures to send to you. And today, Friday, like every last Friday of the month, in all 293 𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤 branches across Brazil, there's the box opening event, which is your big chance to find those rare Hot Wheels. I might even see you there to check out 𝙤𝙤𝙤's products. We also have a QR code on the screen and a link in the description. Use my link, it makes them happy. Right, messages delivered. Let's talk about FP2. 11 in the morning, second free practice session started with the threat of rain at any moment, which made everyone hurry and go straight out on soft tires, trying to get something done right away. And then, Lance Stroll. He went straight into the wall, hard, and really wrecked his Aston Martin. Watching the replay, I think I understood what happened. Both Ferraris were giving space for a Racing Bulls, so they were going slowly through that banked corner that looks like a catapult, the same place where Daniel Ricciardo crashed and hurt his hand in 2023. Remember? Yeah, a banked corner, like on the ovals, isn't the best place for any sudden change of direction, or for the car's behavior to shift, or to slam on the brakes and so on. It throws everything off balance, and Stroll was coming in pretty fast, and maybe got caught out by the 2 Ferraris going slowly. And then, brakes, wall. That was it. End of story. The red flag took a while to clear up the mess, but Stroll got out of the car, and if you're really worried about his health, of course I know you want the best for Lance Stroll. He's fine. He'll be taking part tomorrow. At least, that's the latest update. When the track was cleared, it didn't take long before we had another neutralization with the virtual safety car, 𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤. He was stopped, complaining about engine problems. Luckily, he stopped near a gap, one of those openings in the guardrail, so they pulled his Racing Bulls car out in reverse and the session was able to restart quickly. And quickly, it was Lewis Hamilton who spun again, doing another 360, this time ruining a set of soft tires, once again with a flat spot. Towards the end of the session, even the sun came out, and with 21 minutes to go, Alex Albon went straight on at turn 1 as he started a flying lap, stuck the nose of his Williams into the guardrail, not hard, but enough to break the front of the car. Red flag again. And under the red flag, we almost had a collision in the pit lane, because Russell was coming in behind Piastri. Piastri was about to stop at the McLaren garage, but the team told him, stop at the next slot, because the first one belonged to Norris. Russell was coming up behind when Piastri decided to move back onto the fast lane, slammed on the brakes, and they almost crashed in the pit lane, which is already quite narrow. Even so, the FIA decided to increase the maximum race speed to 80 km/h to open up more strategic options. Because with a faster pit lane, the options increase, since stopping in the pits isn't as costly in terms of time. This is an attempt to change the situation, because since 2021, when Formula 1 started racing at Zandvoort, only one-stop strategies have worked, and the rain, apparently, just hovered around the circuit, showed up on the horizon in several shots, but as for falling on the track, which would be good, or in this case, bad, nothing happened. Once the session was over, Lando Norris was first with a 1 minute and 9.890 seconds, with second place going to Fernando Alonso, showing Aston Martin's strength by actually getting in between the 2 McLarens. Just 2 thousandths behind Alonso was Oscar Piastri, with car number 81, the championship leader, followed by Russell, Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Tsunoda, Leclerc, Colapinto, and Hülkenberg rounding out the top 10. Bearman was 11th, Antonelli 12th, and Bortoleto 13th. Lawson was 14th, Ocon 15th, and 𝙘𝙤𝙤𝙯𝙬 16th. Albon, who didn't set a lap on soft tyres because he crashed on his first attempt, was 17th, with Stroll, Gasly, and Hadjar, who barely ran, completing the top 20. Thoughts for tomorrow, when we have FP3 and then qualifying to set the grid at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'll talk about the schedule in a moment. McLaren have come back strong from the break. Ferrari struggled in the first session, but improved in the second. Aston Martin seemed to have taken a solid step forward, as they did well in the first session with Stroll and were up front again in the second with Alonso. They performed well in Hungary, in Budapest, which is quite a unique circuit. But if they did well there and are doing well here, that's a good sign. Do you know who else did well? Sauber. That's right. Sauber always improve during the race, so if they're doing reasonably well today on Friday, let's see how they'll be on Sunday. Tomorrow, at 6:30 in the morning, is the third free practice session, and at 10 o'clock, not 11, as usual, we have qualifying. Once qualifying is over, I'll come here and quickly post a short video commenting on the result, and then in the middle of the afternoon, between 2 and 3 o'clock, there'll be the full video. On Sunday, at 10 in the morning, the Dutch Grand Prix, or the Netherlands Grand Prix, gets underway, but 15 minutes before that, we'll go live with a second screen for you, as part of the alternative broadcast project on another channel. You watch it there, turn the sound down, and listen along with us here. Mateusz Winter will be doing the commentary, Rodrigo Adami will be providing analysis, and live from the front line, 𝙘𝙤𝙤𝙬𝙗𝙬𝙯. I've already set up the live stream for you. This week, on Sunday, the third episode of the complete history of Red Bull racing was released, covering the final part from 2022 onwards, when the empire collapsed. After the death of the man who took a company born in Thailand global, 𝙬𝙤𝙤𝙬𝙤𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬 here, teams we love. We've already told the stories of 𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤, Shadow, and Ferrari over there. 2 hours of video. There are loads, and more are on the way. On Tuesday, the main episode of the week, telling the story of the generic Formula One and the out-of-season Formula One, which existed with Formula One cars and drivers, but weren't actually Formula One. They raced in Oceania, called the 𝙘𝙤𝙣𝙘𝙤𝙣 Cup in Australia and New Zealand, and also in a national Formula One championship that existed in England, the Aurora Formula. That's right. On Wednesday, a little big story about those things that only happen at Ferrari, when the boss, technical director John Barnard, who was hired for a fortune, discovered that someone, Harvey Postlethwaite, was secretly designing a car inside the team. And this guy, after he left, took a revolutionary concept to a rival team, which would go on to become very famous. And Barnard says in his book, "But my revenge was that my concept was the one that prevailed, and it was better." It's worth checking out. That's the wrap-up of FP1 and FP2 at the Dutch Grand Prix. We'll be back tomorrow. Leave a like, it's free, doesn't cost a thing. You know, it really helps the channel. Do me this favor, do us this favor. Don't forget to comment with your prediction for this weekend. Will it be Norris, Piastri, or Bortoleto in the points again? Can you imagine if he got a podium? Dreams are free, so go ahead and dream. There's a chance of rain. We've got a packed schedule, and I'll see you here 15 minutes before the start on another channel, and at 6 o'clock on Sunday, our post-race live with prize giveaways, answering your questions, your super chats, and having the usual laughs. No prediction. Let us know where you're watching from. Send a shout out to your cat, your dog, your parakeet. By the way, the cat was just here, but now he's gone over there. It's your comments, your likes, your hype that keep pushing our content across the internet so it can reach new audiences, just like it once reached you. That's it. Engagement is the fuel that drives the channel's growth. So you don't miss anything we do here. We've got notification channels, Instagram, Telegram, and WhatsApp will let you know as soon as I publish any content. That way, we cut out the middleman, YouTube, which, as you know, is often to blame and sometimes forgets to remind you. Finally, we have content all the time on our social networks, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and TikTok, which are shown with the @symbols, link below, also in the description. I'll see you here throughout the weekend. It's Friday, I haven't forgotten. It really did cost a lot. That truly warm hug. It's finally Friday. And, you know, don't you, right?